to Guyana, land of many waters, a place of blended cultures. You have to see it for yourself. Pristine rainforest, untouched, what I can't contest. Guyana is the best. Let me hear you sing with me. Oh, Guyana, we are powerful because we are like jaguars that do not fear. So raise the golden arrowhead. Oh, Guyana, we are one people, one nation, one destiny. What a sight to see. You have to see it for yourself and raise the golden arrowhead. Now you're in Guyana. Try curry or cook up rice. Take a taste of the pepper pot. With the El Dorado rum. There's our Kite Falls, largest one-drop waterfalls. It is a world wonder. Everybody sing with me. Oh, Guyana, we are powerful because we are leaders who came here prepared. So raise the golden arrowhead. Oh, Guyana, we are one people, one nation, one destiny. What a sight to see. You have to see it for yourself and raise the golden arrowhead. Listen to me now. Abna, ladies knees. If you know then you're a Guyanese. Everything you do and say, set the trend, so sing with me. Oh, Guyana, we are powerful because we are leaders who came here prepared. So raise the golden arrowhead. Oh, Guyana, we are one people, one nation, one destiny. What a sight to see. You have to see it for yourself and raise the golden arrowhead. Raise the golden arrowhead. Welcome to Guyana, land of many waters, a place of blended cultures. You have to see it for yourself. Pristine rainforest, untouched, what I can't contest. Guyana is the best. Let me hear you sing with me. Oh, Guyana, we are powerful because we are leaders who came here prepared.
أصبحنا وأصبح الملك لله والحمد لله لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له له الملك وله الحمد وهو على كل شيء قدير رب أسألك خير ما في هذا اليوم وخير ما بعده وأعوذ بك من شر ما في هذا اليوم وشر ما بعده رب أعوذ بك من الكسل وسوء الكبر رب أعوذ بك من عذاب في النار وعذاب في القبر.
Heavenly Father, as I rise to greet a new day, I humbly come before you with a grateful heart. Thank you for the gift of life and the opportunity to experience this day. I surrender my plans and desires to your divine will. Guide me in every step I take, that I may walk in alignment with your purpose for my life. Grant me wisdom, strength, and clarity as I navigate the challenges and blessings that lie ahead. Fill me with your love, grace, and compassion, that I may be a source of light and encouragement to those I encounter. May this day be filled with your presence, and may I reflect your goodness in all that I do. In your holy name I pray. Amen.
Good morning to all the viewers. Morning to all the persons tuning into this episode of The Wrap. It's Tuesday morning, and we have Dr. Sheridan Murray coming to us from Linden. We also have Kevon who will be joining us shortly. A lot of things to discuss this morning, a lot of things happening around the country. I saw they had some protest action, which I'd like to discuss a little later on in the program. It's outside of an attorney's office, and I'd like us to look at that. And as I said yesterday, this selective outrage that is exhibited by certain persons from the opposition. Nevertheless, our guest today is Dr. Sheridan Murray. As I said, he was a candidate for the local government elections. He's a medical doctor in Linden Region 10, and I think he was also a former GDF officer, I think. I ain't see nothing, I might be wrong. But anyway, so let's welcome him onto the show. But before we do, we must, and guys, just remember this welcome thing is usually Kevin's responsibility. I don't do the welcomes, don't do them well. But good morning to all the persons who are tuned in already. Babita Sims, Gail Bacchus. I see a guy here named Facebook user, but hey, morning to you. Lynette Cornelius, Miss Ram, Miss Tara O'Brien, all these persons joining, Sally Jones, Krista Kurprasad, Lance Henry, Anita Sibaran, Omar Sharif, Fitu Sharma, Roxanne Lorrimer. Thank you all for joining the program. Please do share the live so the message gets out there. Share. Nevertheless, without further ado, please allow me to welcome Dr. Sheridan Murray onto the program. Morning, Doc.
Good morning, Courdel. It's a pleasure to be here once more again to let's talk. There's so much to talk about, and
right,
we'll have a great time this morning.
One other thing I forgot. This gentleman right here was also the leader of the list for the recently concluded LGE elections in the Linden area here. So, Doc, first of all, before we jump into the heavy stuff, tell us a bit about the thank you public meeting, which was held at the Watuka House in Region 10 there, in relation to thanking the activists, candidates like you, who would have worked assiduously, worked very hard during that election. Tell us about that.
We really had an awesome time. We had a great event. We had a lot of comrades came out to show the support. I must say that the GS did a phenomenal job, and we also and then we thanked him because we realized that the confidence that the party had placed in us to lead. That is something that is not a lot of people have those opportunities. So we're grateful, and we were once again thanking him publicly for the opportunity to lead, and also the executives and our cluster leader. Also, we just want to say thanks to all those who took part and helped us as candidates to stick to what we went out to do. Because as you know, Courdel, we stuck to the manifesto. We didn't go off and go on board and talk about previous history and hate throwing stones. They ensured that we stuck to what we were about our manifesto, and we were clear about bringing development to the communities, to the different constituencies, and we were very much focused on that. And so the GS had a great time with us in Linden. He pointed out, highlighted a few points for the direction of the next phase of what we're about to do. The people of Linden, they love the GS and they love the executive team. And we're on board with seeing and working to make sure that those things that we had promised come to pass.
Right. So there's been a lot of celebration in Linden, especially from the other side. claiming that they did win Linden. That's the fact. But that's like you telling me, your house, your home, your personal home is supporting you. You understand? If you get my point. Now, Linden has been
Right,
known or allegedly known as a coalition stronghold or a PNC stronghold.
right,
So
right,
it is usually expected that the support will be there. So when you see this kind of celebration for what is considered to be normal, to me it's like a father um, publicizing, well, I take care of my child. You understand? That's what you're supposed to do. You understand? So,
hmm
what are your thoughts on the celebrations that you've been seeing in Linden by the coalition, given the inroads that you and your fellow candidates and activists and supporters of there would have made in these recent LGE elections? Before you continue,
I
morning, Kevon. Thank you for joining us.
good
Morning,
morning,
sir. Good
Kevon.
morning, Dr. Murray, and morning to all of you.
I,
So, sorry for my abrupt
I,
just pop in. Sorry about that.
Go ahead, Doc.
yeah. So, well, the truth is that the celebration is not was as big as maybe what had been planned. Uh,
Hmm.
they, it's quite funny when you think about it because um, we have made so much inroads and impact into every community of this township, and you know, some people have that type of mentality. I don't know the reason why they
Hmm.
celebrate, but for me, it's a time where if I was to advise, they would reassess and reevaluate what they're doing. It's a time to look and really focus because to lose 67 out of the 80 seats nationally, it's a tremendous loss. So
Hmm.
for them, it's more like I give them my condolences than I give um, than than well, if they see need for it to celebrate. But I know that we have reason to celebrate as a party.
Hmm.
We have seen 2,000 plus votes come in 2018. We just had about 402 votes, and this year we have 2,464 votes. So it's quite, when you look at it, you see a 512% increase, a bigger increase than in every other community
Hmm.
or any
Yeah.
other township or NDC. The percentage of increase when compared to other areas as a party. Um, so, well, maybe they're celebrating for us. So um, we just that, had a few cups in there. So we had to drink out of something. So maybe our
Something I don't
celebration, they're
know. I
celebrating.
don't know if they're drinking out of
Maybe
palm. Sure,
celebrating
the
for us.
hand.
Right? I don't know, but had cups, had to drinking cups. So um,
Put
but
them
for
up.
us, it's a big inroads. Look, we knew from the very instance that what we're doing, it's a positive process, and it's like someone who's going for gold. They don't
Yeah.
just jump in and just hit the goal right there and then. They take their
Right.
time. They got to dredge out. They got to excavate the area, and they're going after the goal. You might have in your first set of days, especially if you touch a string, you get a little bit of gold at first. But then you're going, the next day is the next day. It's
Mm,
2025.
mm,
That's
mm,
the next
mm,
day.
mm.
That's when we're gonna see the transformation, because the red wave is already here, and
Yep.
the people are still, even after the local government election, people were still connecting with us, saying we want to come on board, we want to work with the PPPC because we are um, on board with the agenda that you guys that we have, and they're willing to work with us.
Okay. No, you spoke of people coming to you guys after the fact. LGE is over. The PPPC has 2 seats on the town council there in Linden. Um,
Mhm.
what what is the next step for you as a candidate of the PPPC now that the elections are over, moving forward? Are you still going to be in the community? Are you still going to try to effect change in your area, although you're not on the council?
Well, I'm very thankful for this question. My duty as a community leader, you don't ever stop leading. Um, you always lead. I will be there to give support to all those who are there to represent us on all sides. Because one of the things we had in our manifesto is that we will work
Mm,
with all the people of Linden. So we are available to work with um, every Lindener and continue to lead in whichever area that I'm given the opportunity to lead in. But still,
mm,
from my platform, I will continue to work with our community. We have so much to be done in the community. We have so much development that is needed. And we have to continue to represent um, the 2,464 votes, and they deserve good representation. And that's the reason why we've chosen excellent counselors to lead, excellent people to lead us. And I'm going to work with them. And that is where we're coming from. Um, my duty as a physician is to not just work with the health center, but to involve all uh, all on board and incorporate what I know to deal with um, the the issues and to solve the problems within our communities. So of course I'll be there. I'm accessible by the people of Linden knows me very well. And just now, by the nation will know me very well that I'm accessible. I'm the same guy. This and we're looking forward to working with our leaders, working with our counselors. I will work with our counselors who are selected to
mm.
ensure that what we have promised comes to fruition.
Right. Before I let Kevon jump in here, I noticed the General Secretary at one of his recent press conference spoke about intimidation even after these elections are finished. You understand? Intimidation after these people won this area. Now, I'm speaking in terms of intimidation towards you, Doc. Uh,
Yeah,
I don't know exactly what the facts are, and you don't need to get into a lot of details,
yeah,
but
yeah,
just give the general public an idea of what you've been dealing with in Linden as an Afro Guyanese who has made a constitutional choice. You didn't break a law. You didn't do anything that was illegal. You made a choice. You made a choice to want to represent your community, and now persons are trying to persecute you for that choice. Just share a little about that with us.
you know, I've come to realize that the people in our tongue, the beautiful people of our tongue, um, they have a lot of uh, they have a lot of some have a lot of animosity for the fact that I came on board with the BBPC to work with the people and for the people. And
Mm,
I've seen it that the elections are over. I would like to say to them publicly that the elections are over. Um, had random phone calls, these nonsense type of thing, um, public attacks and stuff like that, and which in reports were made. I must say that I had even go as far as to making some reports. Um, but when you look at it, this intimidation thing don't work in this time. This is a whole different time. This is a whole different season. And those who know me very well, they know that I'm not easily broken. Um,
mm.
intimidate as a pastor of a local church. Would come after members of those church. Um,
Wow.
try to smear the image that I have. I have a strict policy as it relates to uh, work and church and politics. In our church, in our ministry, we are uh, that's like a no-flying zone as it relates to politics, respectfully, um,
Mm,
uh, because I believe that when we come into the house of the Lord, we come to just hear about God's word, fellowship with one another, and go back to our respective homes. When we go back,
Mm.
we have a social life, we have a political life, we have a life beyond, not just being in the church building. But I
Right.
believe that we should be a representative of who we believe in. I believe I'm a representative of Christ wherever I am, wherever I'm placed, and thus the persecution and the attacks will come. Some of the heinous things that people accuse me of, it's it's startling things that I'm now learning about myself. I didn't know
Right.
that I'm that wicked. I didn't know that I'm that evil. I didn't know that I troubled so many people. I didn't know, but
Oh my goodness.
but as one of our leaders said, if it tickled me, I'm not going to whine. I'm going to talk. So um, um, and I do know that when people do these things, is that they know that you are effective in leadership, and any their negativity, as I said to someone, I said, your negativity is my motivation because, um, you know, I, 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 I thrive on it.
Mm.
I can tell you something about myself. Uh, when they said that I could not have done well in school, I did excellent in school. When they said I could not have become a doctor, I became a doctor. When they said we could not have built the church that we built. We did it in a pandemic. We built it without the help of anyone locally and not even internationally. We didn't had no big sort of somebody funding. We didn't had no funds from anyone. And if when you do come and visit, you will see that we are a people that work for the best interests of people. People cannot accuse me of, I'm very transparent as it relates to finances. Uh, so people can't accuse me of thieving because I work as a doctor and I do give
Mm.
into the church. We help people, we help the poor, we continue to help those in need, we continue to help those with financial needs, with food hampers. We continue to fight for the development and the benefit of the people. You see, when you when you love people, you have to love them beyond their ridicule. And
Mm.
that is why I'm here with this party. That even, I admire our GS in his the way in which he tackles these issues. Um, he does get well, the most abuse out, the most attacks coming at him, and still he responds. Still, he's there for the people, and that is my approach. Also, I will be there for the people. I'll be there to help them, regardless, because at the end of the day, if something happens to them, I'll be the first to run in. When we had COVID, when we had COVID in Guyana, people don't know this, but when we had COVID in Guyana, the first person in Linden, when people were afraid to go and do COVID tests, to go and do testing, when medical officers and people were afraid to jump in one of those white suits, like one of those space suits, and
Yeah, yeah,
we call it
yeah.
the PP, the
PPE.
PPE gear, right?
Yeah.
So um, I call it a spacesuit. When we jump in the spacesuit, they didn't want to go and do the testing. I was the first person that actually went and fight um, in my community, in my township. Reason which being is because I believe that Linden deserves people that will love it enough to work with those who are in authority to push the development of our town. And the
Mm.
truth is that Cordell, I could have left. Kevon knows that very well. I could have left. I could have jumped on a plane and go to another country and work well there and be paid
Yeah.
well there. But guess what? I am I if uh Georgetown is going to be Dubai, then Linden has to be New York. It has to be
Mm.
Manhattan. I'm
Yep.
sorry. That is my that is my ideology in this time. It has to be Manhattan. And that is what we're looking at. We have to have people who are willing to stand up and say, regardless. I am going to make sure that regardless of the punches, regardless of the accusations, regardless of the uncultured attacks, because many of the attacks coming, they're very uncultured. And we have a responsibility to the future of Guyana to make sure that the people will be put first and utmost, and we will look after them to ensure that the development comes to every Lindener.
Mm. You know, Doc, one of the things that jumped out at me there is your willingness to look past political affiliations. You're a medical doctor. So persons would come to you from all sides of the divide. You understand?
Mhm.
And I don't think you're the type of person, if somebody comes to your health center or the health center that you're assigned,
Yeah,
you'd ask them who they voted
yeah.
for or who they're supporting. You provide medical services. Now,
Mhm.
as someone of your standing, a medical doctor, a community leader, a religious leader, why would they want to force you or your family out of that community? You have so much to offer. So much to offer. You understand?
Um, when you look at the when you look around, um, but you see, I tend to focus merely on the people who need me here. Regardless, those same people need me here. I know
Yeah.
I'm an asset to this town. And as an asset to this town, I'm an asset to development because where I work, I bring medical development to the people of my community. And you know, it's quite startling to know that some with who seem to be deemed as educated, deemed as
Yeah.
considered wise, um, would come up with such so much atrocity, and it shows there's a statement in the Bible that says from the abundance, I can't help myself, the abundance of the heart the mouth speak. And
Mm.
people will only speak what's in their heart. Even in jokes, they will only speak what's in their heart. And if there's bitterness, if there's anger, if there's unforgiveness in their heart, then they will speak from that place, regardless of who you are. And I see the bitterness, I see the anger and the rage, but I also see, and I tend to focus more on the love, on the people who are saying, we want to work with you, who are not
Mhm.
as bold enough as I am bold, but they're saying, you know what, let's let's I'm going to work with you. I am here. I want to see better for my town. And the truth is, we have a group of young people outside the church that they are willing to work on board to see the development. And so those who will, as I said before, let let it blow, man. Let it blow with the negativity. And as I said to a friend of mine the other day, I said, when they blow whatever confusion they're blowing, a wind has come and just blow it back on them. So I have no uh problem with people's negativity. I will continue to love people regardless.
Yeah. So Kevin, let me let you jump in there. I've been going on. But when
Eh,
Dr. Murray come, I was kind of ask him a lot of questions. The guy, he has a lot of information, especially from up there. I like to get his perspective on things, and I know that our viewers love to listen to him because he's a professional. And I don't know, like your voice just hold these ladies on this live, brother. Tell them you're married. Tell them you're married, my brother. Anyway, Kevin,
Unfortunately,
over to
I'm
you.
happily. I'm not just married. I'm happily married. So I have no problems in my home. I'm sorry. I pray that you have for our single ladies that you have good men because I they're good brothers in you know.
Sheridan, what you need to also emphasize, not just that they find good men, what you need to emphasize, the few good men that are left is in Linden. It's only
Oh
Linden that's come up
Lord,
find good husbands and so on.
oh
Right?
Lord.
So ladies come to Linden, we have plenty single
No,
men here, good husbands.
my friend from Mr. Otis from Lancaster, who's the head of the list for Lancaster. he'll be very annoyed if I make that statement. So I'll say that they're good men from Berbice and from Linden. But you know what? Guyanese
y'all
men
like
are the best
sparse
kind
tongue
of men.
people. Y'all like
Yeah.
sparse tongue people. But on a point of order, we getting off topic here. On a point of order, I had my roots in Linden. I went to Tuka Day school. I had
Sheridan,
my
he take
beginning.
it about.
But you are
He take
Linden
it
man,
about.
Cordell. You're not a tongue man. Don't defend them. You're one of us.
He take it about.
Oh
All right,
my
Jordan.
goodness.
We accept
I want
you. We
to
accept
say
you.
morning to Dr. Richards. I saw him here, and also Councillor Haley. Those are the two persons that are heading to the council um,
Mhm,
in Linden.
mhm.
Also, good morning to Mr. Dion Young, Deputy Leader of the list here in town. Yes, Kevon, as you were saying.
Yes. So before moving forward, I want to ask a question, Doc, just to have
Mhm.
some clarity on this. Um, I know that there will be various councils or what to say, various groups and different departments within the church. How are these departments put together? Is it these persons they've been placed there, either being handpicked or they are selected for matter of fact, or are they elected within these positions in the church?
Okay, thank you so much for this question. Um, we at Kairos, we're a interdependent body where we're governed by Corbin Ministry International. It's a global network of churches that we are networked to. We're not in. We might look like we're independent in Linden, but actually we are um, we are connected globally. Um, and we work together with other ministries. We're open to working with other churches and open to working with all the people. Um, in the election process in our church is I I personally ensured that when um, in our ministry that there is an elective process where we elect deacons to lead even we have membership meetings, annual general business meetings where the business of the ministry, for example, the church is known of the transparency. We have a treasurer, we have secretary. It's a full under the rules. We are in cooperation. Actually, we're not in the Friendly Society Act. We're in cooperation and where we're open to audits. We're open to because we believe in transparency and accountability. And in transparency and in the spirit of transparency and accountability, we elect every leader. Um, uh, the deacons are elected, the leaders are elected. We have a board of pastors who were selected after they've shown to fulfill the requirements that are given to us by the word of God and by the laws of and the bylaws of Kairos, we work together and they are selected by the members within the local church to serve once their life is in right standing with God.
Yeah.
So what I'm trying to get, so technically some of these positions are being filled via democratic process, right, within the church.
Right, it's a
So
full day democratic process, and people are welcome to come on board and to be a part of us. We don't deal with the bashing aspect. We're more into ensuring that there is a very good selection of leadership and people who possess that quality are elected by the members of Kairos. I am also a member of Kairos. So even though
okay.
I'm the senior pastor of the church, um, I am an elected member to serve and the chairman of the board. I'm elected in that to serve locally,
So
but internationally, I sit also on the seat as the one of the assistant directors globally because I have a responsibility to Latin. People don't know I have responsibility to Latin America, where we have over 40 churches in Latin America that we minister to. Colombia, for example, Colombia, Peru. We have in Ecuador, we have in Cuba, and Panama. We have in other. We have a network of churches where we linked with the International School of Theology in Houston, Texas. So also, I'm on board with Liberty Network that's in New York. So as I said before, as I said earlier, I could have been anywhere, uh, but I've chosen to stay here and to work to make sure to ensure that the process that we have in our church, it functions and it functions very well. And we have people from all over that are part of our ministry, and we welcome them from all political groups. We welcome them at Kairos Church.
No, thanks for that information, Pastor. The reason why I asked the question here is just for some clarity, and especially for our listeners, and especially for those on the other side who jumped out. And Nada said especially. Now, specifically for those on the other side who jumped
Mm.
out to attack you, or any Christian, for a matter of fact, or any pastor who choose to get involved in politics, because politics is everywhere. Politics is in the home. Politics is in the church. It depends on how clean we play the politics. Politics is not anything bad. Politics is giving us the opportunity to make a democratic choice based on who we see as a leader to lead us, or a
True,
team of people who will lead us, right?
true, true.
It is the politicians, and more so specifically again on the opposition side, is who have politics in the mess that it's in Guyana today, trying to rig elections, trying to discriminate people, trying to attack people like yourself. This is why politics become dirty again, because of people like those. So when they come after you now, attacking you, right? Because you would have made a choice. You didn't make a choice or you didn't do like what Mr. Moran did, right? You didn't do what him did. He said he gave up his pastor position because he said it publicly. He was going based on higher callings. So in my view, I want to ask a question: what higher callings are there than the Creator, than God, than Jesus, or whoever we serve? There is no higher calling than that. So he gives up the church. He walk away and leave his flock, right? To lead a church. I didn't see one single new person coming after Pastor Moran, sorry. I didn't see anybody coming after him, right? Nobody said anything about that, right? I see David Granger on his knees in the church. I didn't see anybody said anything about that. And there were many others. I see Pastor Valerie Patterson was in politics and she was involved in her church. I didn't see anybody tell Pastor Valerie Patterson anything, right? So why come after Dr. Sheridan Murray? Because he choose to follow, or because he choose to give his support behind a government that is capable and competent to lead the nation, to lead the people? That's so wrong. And Pastor, I'm going to say this to you and even to our viewers, discretion's advice here. And please don't see this in any way. But Pastor, I have to say it as it is. Today, in today's society, most of the highest level of hypocrisy comes out of some of those churches, right? And I don't have a problem with the religion. I don't have a problem with the church. But some of the people, I see a specific church as well. I was there in that church when that pastor was telling people when they go out there to vote for APNU AFC. Why didn't the church attack that pastor as well? A well-known pastor in Linden. You understand? So why come after Dr. Sheridan? Because he's a young pastor.
Sir, funerals are church events. So that's some campaign at a funeral at some elections back.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Exactly.
a little
I,
while back.
I,
I don't
I
know why
saw
you're bringing Dr. Murray in this thing here.
Yeah,
I saw
here.
Pastor Annette Ferguson was seeking votes at the funeral. I didn't see anybody coming after her. So I'm saying all this, Doc, and I'm saying this to the to the viewers. Why come after Dr. Sheridan Murray? Because he decided
Yeah.
to make a decision to lead this community. You understand? So we have to allow people to make their choice. We have to allow this. The People's Progressive Party Civic believe in democracy. You understand? And that is where they allow you to make your choice. I saw the vice president on numerous occasions prior to local government conference that he was on. He said to the people, "You have a choice to make, and you will have to make that choice based on who or based on what is before you." He never said to anybody, "Come over to the PVP, come and vote for the PVP." I've never heard him say that. He always give that level play field and say to people, choose the right people, vote for the right people, vote for the people of your choice, right? So when I am really I'm really not happy. I'm not happy about this. I can say I'm upset to a point where I see persons coming after Pastor Sheridan Murray. And why I said this, Pastor, I've known some persons as well who said that, oh, I'm not going back to Pastor Murray Church because he's a PVP. You know what nonsense is this? You understand? What nonsense is this? Because the pastor choose, man. This is absolute nonsense according to the president. But anyway, on moving forward, Cordell, I don't want to
Let
lament
me
too
let me
much
let
on
me
this
let me let
because
me say this.
uh-huh.
Let me say this. I'm grateful that you opened up and you shared your sentiments in regards. Um, People have a way of responding to issues very differently. I remember that there was a video circulating around with me speaking, and I'm grateful for the opportunity to speak on this platform concerning it. Um, and I'm grateful that they watched me preaching and teaching, and they came and they circulate a video concerning me, stating that I apologize to the church of being a PPP or connecting with the PPP or being a supporter member of the PPC. Um, and like I've removed myself totally from the campaign at that point in time. I think it was just a few days before the election when that video came out and circulated nationally. Um, I want to say this: that video, you know, I laughed so many times because um, they took something that was um, well intentioned and use it as a mechanism, you know, as a propaganda to spew more negativity into uh, the tongue. I want to say this. Number one, Kairos has not lost its members. People who say they will not come back to the church, the Lord bless them. But the members per se have been in contact with the members of our church, and some of the visitors might not come back, but the members who knows me well, I said to them, and I'm going to reiterate my statement. I said to them, I apologize for them that if I did not make sufficient consultation with them before I entered into this electoral process. That's what I did because I have a responsibility as a shepherd to, and we have, as you said, as I showed you earlier, a democratic process within the church. You're elected by the people to serve them. So I said to them clearly, I said, man, for this process, however, I have a responsibility to my community, to my tongue, to my nation as a whole. And because I have that responsibility, I am on board with the PPPC and I will continue to work with them and to work with those who are in authority and work with our community leaders, whomever they are. And I reiterated that our ministry will continue to be a no-fly zone for politics. We will have politicians who will come on and visit. We will have politicians who will come on and who will come and visit our ministry, and they are welcome. But I explained that to them but I will continue to work for the development of our people, regardless. I had wished that they had put that part inside of the video because I was not backing down from my responsibility. However, I'm grateful. I am grateful. I want to publicly thank them today because I am truly grateful for all of the propaganda, Cordell, for all of the nonsense talk. I am grateful. And I'm grateful that they blew the whistles. How many blows they have? They blow it well, well, well concerning me. It is very good that they do. Because the truth is, what they did was one, expose the heart, two, expose how biased and false they truly are. Three, they expose their mentality, and that they're the mentality of non-progression, of anti-progression, of anti-change and anti-democracy. And plus, today, the truth, Cordell, they've added a few thousand viewers to our live broadcast on Sunday morning. So it didn't work out bad. It worked
Yeah.
out good, and I'm grateful. I want to say thank them. I want to thank them now because they increased our viewership by um, over 1,000 people. Now we have 2,000 more persons who are connected to us, and therefore our platform is growing. So I want to thank them now publicly. You see,
You,
when you gonna come and you gonna come after good people, let me tell you, whenever people come after good people just even rise even higher. So
yeah.
I'm rising higher. This is what I need. Let me be honest with you. I needed this to prove that, guess what? My love for people ain't changed. My love, even for them, my love for them ain't even changed. I have the same
Dr.
love and respect for
Moraine.
them.
Dr.
I
Moraine.
love, watch,
I wish you could
I'm a
see my
pastor,
skin growing.
right? I bless them who curse you. Just bless those who curse you. Just do good to them who
Brother,
despise you. Because
brother.
let me tell you something. Let me tell you something. I'm going to let the cuss out for Cordell and for Lorrimer. If they want that, you have the free scope. But this
But
on this side of this, where I'm standing, my responsibility is, because the truth is
Cordell,
that I understand the psychology of people, and
that's the key.
I'm a tough cookie, I'm not easily broken. I'm not easily
Exactly.
broken. I've been through so much in this life. As I told you before, I was told that I'm not going to do well in school, in high school, when I used to go to Mackenzie High. And guess what? I did extremely well. I was told that nothing would have become of me. And guess what? I became a doctor. I when they say that, oh, the church ain't gonna last 1 year, 6 months. They said that before I even went into politics. They said I wouldn't even last 6 months. And guess what? We're 5 years today. So
Mm.
I believe that my life is defying the odds. And we are going to continue to defy the odds by bringing development even to Linden, because that is who we are. We are defying the odds, and we're bringing this transformation to the people of Linden, regardless. And they will see. You know what? And the eyes of the people, this election has proven that the eyes of the people are open, and they see the need for change. They see the need for development. And I'm going to tell you this: what they fail to realize is that by 2026, 2025, both local and general and regional elections, they're going to see the level of inroads, because the people knows the truth. Those people who are talking are those who are from yesteryear, but the
Mm.
youths know the truth. And because they know the truth,
Exactly. Exactly. And you know something, you know something, Pastor. If you can help me out here, I grew up in church, right? I went to Sunday school. Dario
mm,
was one of my Sunday school teacher and my school teacher as well. I tell you, Dario used to
well,
bust my ass bad, what he done in the life. Yeah, and I was a good boy. I was a good boy. So anyway, right? Pastor, help me out.
mm,
Which one of the commandments said thou shalt not judge? I think is the seventh. I try to remember, right? I know it's one of the commandments, right? But
the Bible said that we should not judge, lest we be
right,
judged. So
exactly,
it meaning
exactly.
that the
So
level
it's
of
not
judgment you pronounce upon a person, you live by that. You will live by your
exactly.
judgment. You'll be judged
So,
by your judgment.
so I
So
wanted to
I'm very
know.
careful how I pronounce judgment on people,
I wanted to
because
know.
Um, I don't pronounce judgment on people. I'm a person that blesses. I'm sorry. I will bless them. I will continue to bless those that do me bad. And I'm gonna leave Cordell to curse them for me. And
Yes,
yeah,
that's
because I
what it
know you
is.
see Cordell, you see that face, that look alone.
I
He's
waited for
gonna
you to
respond
finish
to
to
them.
make my point, brother. I letting you
Yes,
finish.
yes,
You
yes.
say what you
Let
gotta
me shut
say.
up now. Let me shut up now, and let me. Cordell is bubbling up here, right? Like
Cordell,
the
So,
soup is getting ready to be served. Let's
this,
serve some
bro,
soup today.
you listen. I will maintain that people like you, Dr. Murray, are few and far between. Because trust me, I wasn't taking it so, sir. You see how you hear on this show, and people who ridiculing you and talking all these things about you, and bless them.
Mhm.
No, that don't fly with me. So I am happy that we have people like you who are willing to step forward and lead, who are compassionate. Because they got some people like me, them people they're looking thin. They're looking very thin.
Cordell,
Anything anything that I
Cordell,
was involved in, they couldn't come to me for. Because you're talking about me, you're threatening me, all sorts of stuff, and I ain't doing nothing. You understand me? So when I hear you talk this morning, brother, you understand? I was saying before my pulse was raising, because I was like, listen to this big man. Listen to this big man. These people harassing you.
and
You're a
Cordell,
thief. You don't kill nobody. You don't do
exactly,
nothing.
exactly.
You
And
understand? You make a
and
choice.
Cordell,
And they harassing you because you made a choice. And here you this morning. Bless them. I can
bless
still
him.
do this. I can still look out for them. I can still hats off to
Exactly.
you, brother.
And
Mean that
Cordell,
so.
well, the purpose of Dr. Murray is when you go out there and you match up the battle. At least you can come back to Dr. Murray so you can pray for you, so you can have some cleansing and so on. So we have to
I
have him
got
there.
I got how I am, you know. I good how I am. You treat me good, I treat you good. You treat me bad, I can treat you bad. You
But
understand?
but Cordell,
Especially if you're scanning me. And one of the things I wanted to touch on, Dr. Murray spoke about his church and it being incorporated, so it's open to audits and persons can look into the organization to make sure that there's accountability and transparency.
yep,
Could we say that about the PNC? Blank checks flying here, there, and everywhere. So I would say this pastor, his church, has more credibility than that party because they're open to scrutiny. You understand
exactly,
me? They're open to scrutiny.
Yes, yeah.
And that is
exactly.
important. And I hope persons on this live, and again, I ask the people on the live, please share it so that persons could be informed and hear persons like Dr. Murray when they come on this program and they talk. Because just the other day, big blank check story, big story in there. No accountability. The NDC in I think it's not BV on the East Coast, where an audit was ordered that showed those councillors sold lands, ancestral lands to those people, and all sorts of
Wow.
things.
Wow.
Unlike the pastor's church here, where there's accountability and transparency, there's a democratic process for persons who want to hold positions. Unlike that party who got infighting because they in an agreement or one person selecting who to be mayor and who to be deputy mayor and all that nonsense. So I love it when I see persons like Dr. Murray can come on this program and show the difference between organizations. You understand? And show the difference between persons, right? Because Dr. Murray, again, into a solar thing. Dr. Murray is working in his community. Dr. Murray is a doctor looking after the community, ensuring community health and safety.
Exactly.
You understand? These people, they didn't build road, they didn't do nothing up there. As far as I concerned, I says nothing. Some people might find one and two fine thing. I
No
says
problem.
nothing. My personal view, they did
No
nothing up
problem.
there.
No problem.
So
The
before
Bella Arch. The Bella Arch. The Bella Arch.
you just try to get me upset on this show.
It was
Both
actually
side build that
that
arch.
built that.
Both side build that arch, boy. Kevon, stop your nonsense, bud. Good. So, Dr. Murray, even before 2020, when there was a return of democracy again, kind of teeth in the elections, did more for that community in 2015 to 2020 as a medical doctor. You understand? As a community and religious leader. Yeah, right? So, bro, Doc, respect to you. Continue doing the good thing. Continue fighting the good fight. And trust me, brother, I hope as I mature in age, I could become as, oh God, I don't even know how to describe it, as forgiving, as understanding,
As
as
you.
as you are, my brother. I'll leave it as that, as you are. But for now, no. Sorry.
Once,
Cordell,
let me make this quote quickly. There's a statement that I learned in high school by my a former integrated science teacher, and he said, "Once the dream is big enough, the facts don't matter."
Yeah.
And what keeps me is that there's a dream that I have concerning my tongue and my nation, to see it transformed economically, to see the people receive betterment in every aspect. And the the facts are is that we've been through a lot as a people. We've been through a lot as a tongue. We've been through a lot, and we've come a long way from where we had started. And but the dream is still there. And I thank the government because the government understands the dream in that we're not going to get our 4-lane bridge. They understand the dream by creating the let them to Linden
Yeah.
superhighway that we're building and that we connect directly to Brazil. They understand the dream of the of transformation that is needed to propel the tongue into a city, maybe a city soon. They understand that dream, and because they understand that dream, the facts of their discrimination, their attacks, excuse me, their attacks, the facts of these things don't matter because the
Right.
dream is big enough. The manifesto that we have is big enough. So because it is big enough, what they consider their facts, because the truth is, not all facts are truth.
Our facts.
Some they have their facts don't matter.
yeah.
So
Some are fucked.
because the dream is big enough, the rehydrant process that we're entering into every community, that those are the dream. Those are the promises that we've made. And and I know that we have two mighty great counselors who are going in to represent us on behalf of the PPPC. I know them personally. They are 5-star generals who will be going in on behalf of the PPPC into this council to make sure that, one, that our tongue receives the benefit, and two, represent the people who had elected them, and three, to represent also the principles of our party.
Doc,
Cordell, one of the thing that we must highlight here again, and I know the vice president would have made that very clear. While our candidates were out there during the campaign trail, for every constituency they had their manifesto. What we have to make clear here as well, and not only for Linden but across Guyana, even though all our candidates have not or had not made it to council, we must let Linden know that those manifesto plans will still be fulfilled. All right?
yeah.
The government
Yeah.
promised that the general secretary of the party will ensure that that happen. So because we know, especially in Linden, don't matter. It's like putting on a green suit on a donkey to make it look like a iguana. It's the same thing. It's the same donkey donkey leadership we would have. We know that they will fail. even before they start. We know that they will fail. We know that they cannot deliver. And therefore, we know the central government will have to step in again to do
Mm.
what they cannot do. So our manifesto, our candidates' manifesto will still, those promises will still be fulfilled in those constituencies where they fail to even produce a manifesto of their own. They copy and cut and paste and put that out there. So we are letting them know that our promises will still, those promises will still be fulfilled. You understand? Now, Cordell, something I really want to touch on quick before we close the program. I've noticed yesterday there were numerous protests around Guyana. And when I say around Guyana, I'm just
All
talking in
right,
the
stop,
past,
stop,
right?
stop, stop,
There were
stop,
numerous.
stop, 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 stop. We go into the, but before we go to that, let's let
Uh,
Dr. Murray go. I don't want to involve him in this because I got to deal with this specifically. So,
Thank you
Dr.
so much for
Murray,
the kindness.
Dr. Murray, thank you for coming
Yes,
on the
sir.
program. Please continue your good work in Linden.
Thank you
And
so much for
before you
having me.
go, if you could give us a quick wrap up before you go, some final words
Yeah.
before you leave us.
I want to say on behalf of the candidates, we want to say to the people of Linden, thank you so much for one, putting your trust in us, um, to work with you. Number two, thank you for allowing us to come into your space, into your homes, into your communities, into your streets, to share with you our plan and agenda for the people of Linden. Um, and we want to say thank you on behalf of the PPPC in Region 10. We will continue to make sure we honor our promises that um, we've made for you. And we just want you to know that all the people of Guyana, um, don't worry, Linden is on the board for transformation, and you will see a bigger and a brighter Linden. And
Mm.
I'm there to make sure of it. So we will continue to work. I want to thank you so much, guys, for having me, and I declare that you continue to be blessed. Those of you who are watching, as a pastor, I bless you with excellence, with favor, with every good thing that life has to offer. Somebody says, pray for them. Maybe you can inbox me and I'll pray for you. But I want to declare the blessing upon this nation. Guyana is a blessed nation, and we are a blessed people. Regardless of everything that we're going through, we continue to be a blessed nation, a thriving people. Together, let's continue to build one Guyana. Thank you so much, guys.
All
Thank
right,
you,
that's
Father.
Dr. Murray.
Thank you.
Yes,
Thank you.
Kevin.
All right.
Now we
So
could continue. Go
my
ahead, sir.
apologies. My apologies because I know
I
thinking
don't want
about
to
it.
involve the doctor in that.
Yeah,
I don't
we
want
don't
to.
want to
He's a
involve
good
because
guy,
this
and
this is
that is we
this,
work. This is we work here.
yeah, this is the part where we can get nasty sometimes. So yesterday I saw um some protests, just a few. As I want to change it back because I said around the country just now, but it was only Georgetown, and then we had the donkey apostle in Linden there, talking about the roads and the roads being done and so on, right? Not properly done and so. Cordell, I want to be very clear on this, and I don't want people to get me wrong, especially Lindeners. I support anything that is going to be highlighted in terms of if no proper infrastructure work is being done and so on. Because in the end of the day, I also dwell in that tongue. I live in that tongue. My children have
Mm,
to use that road, and if it's not properly done by rights, right, it needs to be addressed. But
mm,
there's a way in doing things, right? Not everything we jump to social media platform to be an hypocrite about. I would ask Donkey London if he can go, if he ever made contact with Minister Edgel directly to address this. And for a matter of fact, the minister has nothing to do with that, Cordell. You know what? The Region 10 is being managed under APNU body, RDC. You have the Public Works Department. I'm sure within the Region 10 RDC Council, I'm sure there's a council there who has the responsibility to overlook infrastructure. I'm sure they have clerk of works and these things. These are the people who supposed to be on the ground to ensure that the work is being done properly. But because central government have to step in and do their job, they don't want to be a part of it. They're shame They got to cover their face. So what is being done there? That is because that is their responsibility. That's not Minister Ejel's responsibility. Minister
And
Ejel is supposed to be on the ground, right?
that is how London tries to mislead people. This guy
Exactly.
is so dishonest. I can't stand him. He went to the ground there at Mackenzie and lied to the people about the ground being donated when the plaque said pavilion. The pavilion was donated. Now here he is again talking about this road in his life. The Minister of Public Works and the minister within the Ministry of Public Works don't supervise no contract, sir. You understand? If a contract is being executed in Linden, they got, as Kevon said, clerical works, engineers that supervise the project. So how dare you jump out at the minister to talk nonsense about, oh, boredom never built a road like this? You're a stupid big man, London. You're a stupid big man. Because the only thing that Barnum built at last is the Linden Highway, and the PPP is resurfacing it because it's no good anymore. You understand? The PPP will resurface it. Now, you spoke about some other protests in
So
Georgetown,
yeah,
right?
bro.
Some other brooms at them at this guy Nigel Hughes' office. Selective outrage. I spoke about that yesterday, Kevon. Now, I want to show y'all some articles, and I want the public to be aware of the selective outrage I'm talking about. Now, mind you, I'm not condoning or supporting any actions that have been alleged against anybody. I'm just showing you the double standards in these persons and how they operate. This is an article here, right? Now, this is in relation to the same Simona Broom's son who assaulted a woman and was charged in relation to that matter. Where was Simona Brooms? Did Simona Brooms pull up her son? Did Simona Brooms represent the woman who was assaulted by this gentleman?
Did she protest?
Did she protest the lawyer and say, lawyer, don't go and represent him? He assaulted women. The trafficking in persons boss, Miss Simona Brooms, who so care about trafficking in persons. When this assault happened, did you say anything? Did you come out? Did you reprimand your son? Anything at all? Good, Kevon. Let me
Complete
move
silence.
on.
Complete
Let me
silence.
move on to another thing. This article here, right? And firstly, just let me say this one here. This gentleman was not represented by Mr. Nigel Hughes. I probably he was, but I don't know. I'm saying I do not know in this case. This case here involving former Army Chief of Staff who, according to the information in the news and the court matter, was above the legal limit of alcohol in his system. Knocked down a national cyclist. The gentleman died. Kevon.
Understood.
The gentleman died. And you know who secured bail for this gentleman here? Mr. Hughes. Mr. Nigel Hughes. Where was Simona Brooms to go to Nigel Hughes and say, don't represent Mr. Best? Because this man is a youth in Guyana. This man got a future. He snuffed out this young man's life. You understand whether the matter was settled or not? Why Simona Brooms didn't jump out and say, don't represent Mr. Best? Where was Simona Brooms and Annette Ferguson and all them worries that be singing gospel outside the man office yesterday? Why didn't they come and protest this action here? Kevon, let me give you one more example of the selective outrage of these people in the PNC. Simona, Annette, and all them worries that been out there yesterday. Look at this other matter. This here is two, I think, Colombians who shipping over 1,100 pounds of cocaine in Guyana. They were caught. You know who represent them? Nigel Hughes. Nigel Hughes. Why Simona Brooms didn't go to Nigel and say, Hughes, guy needs you, we liar, we need you. Don't represent these criminals and drug dealers. Why Simona Brooms didn't jump up and say something then? Now she got a voice to go in front of the man office yesterday and talk about you're our lawyer and we gonna need you and a bunch of other foolishness. Where was Simona Brooms? So she should be the last person to go a place he protested and vexing about anything because of some more the brooms. Selective outrage. Selective outrage. You only know things bad at certain times. We didn't know, some other brooms didn't know it was bad when her driver and them harassed the people at the driving on the East Bank. Kevon, she didn't know that was bad. She didn't know it was bad when she same driver again run down Dion Young and Sapphire shooting up in the air and all kind of thing.
Exactly.
These people just forget. These people, and she had to go and get a lawyer to represent her and get her off. Get her off. Now she talking about who and what. Some other problems I sparse people. She should back up herself, back into the big mansion she living in off of Mandela there, and mind she goal. You understand me? And stay in a car. That's what Simone Brooms need to do. And stop misleading people.
You know the other thing, Courdel. I saw these people, and like we said, that even I believe that the attack is even more than prior to elections. Now I saw the same pastor or the let me take away apostle and pastor, because this is a word he like use. Donkey London. That's the name from today. I saw him on a live as well yesterday. And listen, the racist. Listen, this in my view, and the viewers can say to us here if I'm wrong. When he started, he said he saw a son, a black brother, who's from the ancestor or from the ancestors of the Africans representing Nigel Darmla. Listen to that. Listen for that as an apostle. That is what you call an outright racist. You understand? Now going back to I you know what, I admire Mr. Nigel Hughes, and you know what, I am guilty of it as well. I spoke of his calculations because I like his calculations because it can be convenient to us sometimes. I don't care what nobody says. We like the calculations. Sometimes it's convenient to us. But you know what? The guy was very professional yesterday. He gave her the right answer.
I love that.
And then also what you should have highlighted when he represented Smalley the other day, why Brooms didn't come out as well. You understand?
I forget, brother. I forget. I just want to show you this lady. So she's saying this is our law. You see? So what she trying to say? Smalley's a part of them. That's what she tried to say. That's why I want to understand, Kevon.
Technically, right? But Courdel, the thing of it, Courdel bounced off that a bit. I hope it's not GPL. GPL is do Courdel kind of thing. But anyway, yesterday I admired the way, and I admired the response of Mr. Nigel Hughes to Simone Brooms and those who were present there. You know, he was professional. And the thing of it, these persons that approached his office yesterday to protest, to call him in, to drop the case, and let him have another Cordel's back, let him have another liar and all these things. I wanted to know if Simone Brooms or Apner or any one of them can sustain Mr. Hughes' form. You understand? This guy is a professional businessman, and he made that very clear. He represents Guyanese. The man, and that alone speaks, because she was making an idiot out of herself. While she was saying to Nigel that, oh, you're our liar, the man said, no, I represent Guyanese. The man didn't brand himself, oh, I represent APNU or I represent PNC. He said, I represent Guyanese.
Come on, hold. So Ian Peters making some threats to me there. Somebody can come and kill me. Mr. Ian Peters, we see you. And I wish them luck. I am prepared and waiting. Y'all could try. But anyway, let me move on. Kevon, bro, it's a sad situation. I forgot about the Smalley thing, or else I would have mentioned that as well. But these people are ridiculous. And at the end of the day, it shows their bias and unfairness in certain situations. I make the point, I am not defending, condoning, or any allegations made against anyone. However, I am showing the duplicity and the double standards of persons coming from the opposition when they look at matters of importance and matters that they're appalled about. You understand? And mind you, they have a right to be appalled about certain things. But at the end of the day, you have to be fair and you have to call a spade a spade. Now, because it's your party, people, you're gonna, be fair. You calling out protection of children and women, call it out whenever the time is needed, not only when it suits you or when it has a political motive or something you could gain political points. Call it out all the time. Call it out all the time. Ian, come look for me. Ian Peters, come look for me. Right? Good.
Courdel, that's the level, and I'm glad that our viewers having the first-hand opportunity to see what's happening here. Because even to my inbox, say Mr. Peters and they have some others, this is the threat they're coming with. When we're making this public, to the public viewers, and also Courdel, we will, as we would advise as well, an official report must be launched as well.
Yeah, I can drop a report. So in case they come in and I fix the business, I ain't gonna get in trouble, right? So in case they come and the business get fixed, a report is lodged. You made a threat against me that you will have persons in GT deal with me and I will be in La Repentier, as we all saw just now. So that is that. But wait till, let it come. Is your buy. Big up the PPPC all the time. Good government, good governance, good work, development, no cardboard presidents, nothing of the sort. You understand? So, like I said, Ian, come find your boy. You come find your boy. Anyway, Kevon, I think it's wrap up time, my brother. You could take it over.
We gone over 60 minutes, but we all have cards. We take away some time yesterday, and but Courdel, I believe this morning was very informative, and I want to thank Dr. Sheridan Murray again here for coming on to highlight these things. And like you would have mentioned, Courdel, Dr. Murray is very professional in what he does, and for a young man, he has great potentials. And we're going to continue to give him that support. For a matter of fact, I'm going to ensure that I follow 2 buses that I go into Dr. Sheridan Murray Church. You understand? We're going to continue to give him the support, right? So, Mr. Murray, no need to worry. You understand? We will be there. So, Courdel, I really this morning, there's so much we have to highlight here, but the time does not permit us. I'm out of the area as well. So we are trying to get certain things done as well. But Courdel, thanks again for taking the forefront. You're the boss.
It's what we do. And you remember, we got people who depend on us to come here and give them the information, despite the intimidation, despite the rhetoric that comes from the opposition. And I feel personally required, as does Kevon, to come here every morning and debunk the foolishness, give persons the information they need so that they are not misled by these persons in the opposition and the foolishness that they want to come to persons with. You understand me? So I will be here. I will continue to be here, and I will continue to advocate what I've been advocating all along. You understand? Development for Guyana and Guyanese.
Exactly.
Good accountability and good governance, which we are seeing. And, oh gosh, anyway, you're going to let me go on to something else. Kevon, thank you for, hear me tell you, I'm going to tell you, thank you for having me on the program like if I was a guest. But it was great. Just get me riled up.
I must say, thank you for having me on this morning. You were the host for today. So thank you for having me on your program, and all over to you. It was nice being here. I want to feel like a guest, Courdel. Let me feel like a guest. Thank you for having me on your program this morning. And it was very much informative. Thanks to your viewers as well. And we just let those know that is coming on here. People like the same Ian and the others. We're not bothered.
Don't fight. This is why we just drop the comments on the chat. So it's in the live and it's always there. So Ian could delete, like how a certain person delete a set of messages from a WhatsApp group. Well, not group, a WhatsApp Private message. Ian could delete from now to never worry. That's why we throw it up in the chat, in the live. You understand? We got it here. We got it here. Let me throw it up one more time so it can be in the live here with Mr. Ian Peters.
So everybody who are watching, you can screenshot. Just take a screenshot.
Take a screen grab. Take a screen grab. Take a screen grab and share it. Let people know how they're trying to intimidate persons, just like what they're trying to do to Dr. Marie and Linden. But we shall not be moved. We shall not be moved. You understand? Wonderful morning. Guys, have a very productive day. Kevon, as he said, he's out and about doing his thing. I got some other stuff to do as well, looking at nation building and development that's happening across the country. We'll be back here tomorrow with none other than the leader of the list for Bartica, Mr. Orwin Ward. We'll be touching down on the wrap in the morning to let us know in detail how we secured that victory in Bartica, turning Bartica from green to red. You understand? You know what we're saying? Red till we dead. Red till we dead. We ain't switching back. We ain't switching back. Right? So, guys, thank you for joining the show, the program. Please share the live. Kevon did his wrap up just now, so I ended it here and now. Have a great day. Be productive. Quincy, morning to Quincy Anderson, Trisha Richards, Mr. Latest normal. Don't think he yet a party. Shout out to Miss Trisha Richards, Miss Patricia Chase Green, Don Singh, Ishwiani, Odwin Ashby, Dion Young, Kwesi Joseph, Nicola Luther, all those persons around the country, those persons heading into the council. Take a big up from the morning wrap. Have a great day. It was wonderful being here with y'all.
And you can big up Aubrey Norton too. Good morning, Aubrey. That's my time for today.
You would have straight for later. Come on, later, brother. Later.
This is Quincy Anderson. You know I love my country. There's no other country better than mine. Welcome to Guyana, land of 6 races, 6 different faces, and we all live in love. Guyana is a beautiful country, no other can compare.
Sorry people. I had to come back. For a quick minute. Miss Gloria Fraser, I'll take this opportunity to respond to you. Kevon never got all the money. So despite the check that you guys put up in the video, never got all the money. So you need to ask Miss Shondell, where was the rest of the money for the house? On that note, we can end the program now. Have a great day, everyone.
This is Quincy Anderson. You know I love my country. There's no other country better than mine. Welcome to Guyana, land of 6 races, 6 different faces, and we all live in love. Guyana is a beautiful country, no other can compare. Got everything right here, so no other can compare. Guyana is made up of so many natural resources. We don't need no forces, cause we got enough resources. Let's talk about bauxite, gold, diamond, and rice. We got it right here. Guyana ain't going nowhere. We got enough oil too. One Guyana, I love Guyana. Guyana, my country, my home. The only place I call home. One Guyana, I love Guyana. Guyana, my country, my home. The only place I call home. Hey, Guyana is nice. Guyana is fun. Guyana